Hi everyone, Joe here. I'm back again with another video. Today I am going to be doing a bit of a Q&A. I put a post up on my community page. If you don't know where to find it, go to my channel, then there's a community tab. It's on there on the PC. If not, it shows up on your feed on mobile. But yeah, had a few questions, figured I'd answer them today. Now you might notice I'm not just my normal standing in front of a white wall setup. Well, there's a reason for that. I've got a cat tower to build for Clive. And it's supposed to be, floor to ceiling. So we're going to kind of see how that goes. So I'm going to build that whilst answering your questions. So I guess the first thing we really need to do is read the frickin' manual. Oh, so apparently it says assemble it on a blanket or carpet. Not doing that. It's got the parts listed. Oh no, it starts really freaking quick. Right, so let's start building, I guess. I might have overdone this, you know. I'm probably going to put parts out on the sofa behind me. That seems like a thing to do. And then I'll have the... Oh my god, there are so many pieces. What is it? What is this going to do? I say apologies for the lighting. Window semi next to me, behind me. I know it's not ideal, but I've got nowhere else where I can do this. And at the same time, I can't bother to get my studio lights out because I'm being pretty lazy. Now I am using my lav mic, which is why the sound quality isn't the same as it normally is. Notice I said just say the same, not necessarily different. This is apparently one of the first steps, so we'll put that out. But then there's two of them, so that's great. Put them there. Oh god, this is utterly ridiculous. I think I might have made a mistake here getting this one. But right, I guess. Let's see what the first question is, and I'll get answering the question whilst I'm getting everything out. First of all, how am I feeling? Any further travel plans, and how is my family coping? So, how am I feeling? At the moment, I've got a bit of a sore throat, which is from the lenvatinib, which is to be expected. It's kind of like the most common side effect there is. They're very, very used to it. It's not a surprise. And that is what we're looking for. Which isn't too much of a surprise. I'm tired quite a lot, which is crap. Because it means that when I know if I want to go out and do something, I don't really have the energy for it. Which is one of the reasons why I've not been going to the gym. So I've just been so tired. Which it's allowed. It's not ideal. I would rather not. Seriously, who tapes up bags of screws? Like who does this? Like who? Obviously a company in China that makes cat towers, I imagine. Now I'm hoping. Yeah, it does. Uses an Allen key, so that's all right. Yeah, how my family is coping is they are the same as me, I guess. Clive, I know you want to come and help, mate, but you don't have to. You don't have to help. Now I've got to work out which bits, because I've got loads of things here that look the same. Now I'm going to assume these go on the inside because there's not much for a cat to scratch on that, so they'll go on the inside. Then we have to work out the screws, which is ridiculous. Oh my goodness, there's loads of them. So, oh boy, we're going to have to do some power of editing here, I think. Yeah, travel plans though. I think what I'm planning on doing is we're waiting on my wife's visa to come back, because she being American, she's got a visa to go, basically prove that she can stay here, which is all kinds of fun. But we need to do that first, and then, because currently she can't come back in the country if she leaves, which is good. We want the one with the hole at the front, so on this one first. Now we need these 3 screws that are 3. They're called 3. There's 23 of them, which means there's lots. Which that's easy to work out which ones they are. That's cool. We can do that. So yeah, there's that. What we have to go through, which is wonderful. So yeah, once that comes back and we've got that, then we can start making some plans, and that's going to be what we're doing. They're probably just going to be going on a holiday to Europe, somewhere sunny, and going from there, really. Oh God, right, why did I think this was a good idea? Honestly, in my head I'm like, you know, it'd be really cool. I'll get a new cat tower for Clive, and I'll build it whilst I'm doing a vlog, and it'll be great, and people will love it. It's like, oh, what a moron. Whose bright idea was that? Now I'm assuming they go on the inner, because there's 2 holes on here. I'm assuming they go on the inner rather than the out. Although I don't think they do now. Although it's not clear. It looks like they go on the inner. But the only way for me to work that out is to look at the next stage. I guess we'll work it out, won't we? No, because they're not countersunk. Right, we'll go over the outside. It looks like it shouldn't be too much of a difference, but the ones underneath, they're countersunk, so to me that would say that it's not got a pass-through, logically. I might time-lapse most of the building, so I can focus on the questions when it comes down to editing. I think. You alright, bud? You good? Wondering what on earth I'm doing? Me too. This is not designed in a great way. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting them off, and then we will go through. In fact, you know what we'll do to stop that from collapsing? Put the other one in. I'm sure this is going to be driving people insane. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Cancer, mainly. Here's what's wrong with me. But yeah, yeah, it's gonna have to be wider. That makes sense. I feel like it makes sense. I have to do the same thing on the other one too. Now what I might do, because I brought my electric drill out, I thought I don't know whose bright idea was to do the instructions in this way. That's an annoying place. I think what I might do is bring out my electric drill, or screwdriver, driver drill, and switch over to an Allen head, or an Allen key head. I think I've got one. Or we'll carry on doing it by hand. But yeah, I hope that answers your question about how I'm feeling, what I've got going on. The sore voice thing is pretty awful, because I'm back on the lenvatinib. I had my week break from treatment, and then they were carrying on with it because my blood pressure came back down. So that's all good. But then we have to carry on with it and start it again. And when we start the treatment again, all the side effects come back. So the sore throat, the painful mouth, all that stuff. So it's not ideal, especially considering I still don't know if it's working or not. And we won't know if it's working or not for another few weeks, because apparently they like to give 2.5 to 3 months of treatment before they say if it's working or not, which is great for them, you know. I understand the logic behind it, and it makes perfect sense that we would do that. But a small problem is I'm impatient. I'm an impatient patient. That's me. So we have to, say, kind of sit there and wait until it's time for a scan. Right, anyway, that question was from Nerdy Before It Was Cool. Next up, we've got one from Poet Babe 86. I assume Poet Babe 85 was taken. What's something that a nurse or doctor has done to help you cope and help with your treatments and planning? Something did you wish they wouldn't have? Say you're in nursing school and you want to go into oncology. Oh, it's a tough thing to do because you're going to be watching people die, realistically, and a real emotional journey. I'd love to know what has helped you the most so I can be a better nurse to a future patient. By the way, love your outlook on life and your way of viewing what's happening. Thank you. So, anything a doctor and nurse has said. Okay, they've not said enough. Honestly, that's the way I feel, is that I love information, I love facts, I love numbers, I love stats. And the reason why I love them is not because I'm autistic or anything like that, and I, you know, I've got a real thing for numbers, man, and patterns. No, it's that I like to know where I am, and a number tells you. A number can be put on a scale, you know, from 1 to 10. Then you know. Versus where I am at the moment, where I don't really have any of that. I don't have numbers, or I don't have anything quantifiable for me to be able to say where I am, and that's difficult for me. I think it'd be difficult for most people, to be honest, because it is difficult, isn't it? You want to know where you are. You want to know the next step all the time, and I think for me, that's what I want. But then again, not everyone's the same. Not everyone likes things that way. Some people just want to be like, no, doctor knows best, we'll just get on with it, and go from there. I'm not really like that. It's the same way that during my chemo, I paid attention to my body a lot. Like, I know my body really well, and that's from martial arts and from fitness, is that you learn to move a certain way, you learn how things feel, you know when something's right, you know when something's wrong, you know when you've injured yourself. It helps you stop, take a step back, and not make things worse for yourself. Now, during chemo, an example was that I had really bad hiccups. Like, I'd move, and I'd get immediate hiccups. This is only ever during the first 3 days of chemo. I mentioned it, first cycle. Response from my oncologist was oh, that's because it's irritating your diaphragm, you know, I know what's in your lungs. I'm like, that's not true because, and explained that the reason why it wasn't necessarily true. And I said it wasn't true because I know my own body, and it only happens on the first 3 days of chemotherapy each time. What are you doing, bud? Come to help. And because of that, he's like, oh, well, actually, it's one of the anti-sickness drugs that makes that happen. It's like, come on! Like, I had to find this out somewhere else, that it was the anti-sickness drugs. I kind of brought it up and went, well, actually, because, you know, one of the online support groups I'm in tells me this. and that is Shine Young People's Cancer Group on Facebook. Watch out, bud. Watch out. No, I don't. Okay, well, I didn't think you'd ever go inside them, to be honest. So that's interesting. Now we've got a ladder. He's got a bloody ladder. Just what my cat needs, a ladder. Great. Need these bits for that, by the looks of things. So we've got 2 short screws, which I assume is them. You're really wobbling the table, bro. So yeah, there's that. Where are the brackets? Where are the brackets? Where's the metal strips? Brackets and metal strips, or just brackets. So where are the metal strips then? Don't tell me there's another thing in here. Oh no, it's not metal strips. I'm a moron. These, they're like metal strips in the thing. That's what it looks. Are you going to sit in there the whole time? This cat, he's amazing. It's actually coming up to Clive's adoption day. But yeah, Poet Babe, I'm hoping that answers your question a little bit, is that information is what I wanted. I always wanted more information, and unfortunately, it was difficult to come by, and that could just be down to my oncologist. I don't know if anyone else is going through cancer, but who watches, you might not actually, but I know a lot of people do. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Did your oncologist do the same thing? So, next question. We're going to time-lapse the absolute crap out of this building process, I think. Crystal Texas Randomness says, do I have a bucket list? You're curious what, to know what I want to buy or do. So, bucket lists. I fucking hate bucket lists. Now, there's a really good reason why I hate bucket lists. And the reason why I don't like them, oh wait, 2 14s and a 16. They've got numbers on! 2 14s and a 16, which is longer. Cool. I obviously hate bucket lists, and there is a reason for that. 16, 14, 14. The reason why I hate bucket lists is because my bucket list, my sole thing on my bucket list is live a long and happy life. Now, with my type of cancer, that seems pretty unlikely. So it's still on my bucket list. Still, who wouldn't want to do that before they died? Well, that's a horrible sound, isn't it? So yeah, that's kind of my entire bucket list. I know it's a bit of a disappointing answer, but I don't like them because I feel like, what happens if you do it? You give up? You give up living at that point because you've done your bucket list? It doesn't sit well with me. There's nothing. A long and happy life, and what does a long and happy life contain normally? To me, it would contain having a family, going nice places, spending good time with your friends, making sure that you do good. Do good meaning as in don't be an arsehole. Pretty simple rule to live by on that one. And then that's kind of it. You know, I don't unfortunately it's not all of it is an option for someone in my situation. And you know, if the opportunity arises, I would love to. I quite like to swim with sharks. Oh, that'd be cool. I always kind of wanted to do the shark experience at the London Aquarium. I always thought that might be fun. This is where we find out if I've messed up or not. But yeah, I thought that might be fun. Hey buddy, I kind of need you to. So we'll move you over here. All right. This is a have I messed up moment, because I might have done. Which I don't think I have. I think we could be total cock up free here. Yeah, so this thing's supposed to be, let's say, floor to ceiling. No, got it right. We got it right. But yeah, so I don't know, bucket lists, a bit of a funny one. But yeah, I've always wanted to do that. I mean, I've travelled. You know, I've been to different countries wise. I have been to France, Spain, Portugal, Egypt, Bahrain, Bulgaria, America, Greece. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Which is a good selection of stuff. I've always fancied going to Japan. I know this kind of like goes back on the travelling kind of thing. But yeah, I've always thought about going to Japan, and that was for martial arts, but I'm not in a physical condition where I can. Like when I was at my absolute peak, competing internationally in kickboxing, 100% yeah. Because my first black belt in martial arts was Shotokan Karate at 16. And that was, yeah, my first black belt in martial arts. And I kept on my training and stuff, but yeah, it's just I'm not physically capable anymore at that level. And plus, you know, coronavirus over that side of the world, probably not the best time to go for someone who is potentially immune compromised. But hey ho, that won't be forever, will it? So, but yeah, not really much on my bucket lists. I'm not really a bucket list type, honestly. Okay, that's as far as that goes, which is fine. But yeah, I hope it answers your question, Crystal. Next up, how long after my thyroidectomy did I find out my follicular cancer had turned into anaplastic thyroid cancer? Okay, so timings of stuff. That's 15. That's what's this? Hang on, just checking length of stuff. 14. 14. Do I need 3 14s? No, there's 17. And that's a 17. You know, this doesn't look too adjustable in height, you know. Oh, no, it is. Right. Don't worry. So, yeah. I had my initial surgery in August 2016. And then we need one of these hammocky things. Right. Yeah, I had that in August 2016. That was, and then I had my follow-up one after they realised it was follicular. That was 2016, so it was 2018 in, I'm going to say, what was it, September, October? That's when I found out it was anaplastic. There is some, because cancer is not a simple beast. Well, I just found out that my camera automatically stops recording after so long, so magic of editing. Yeah, anaplastic thyroid cancer. So thyroid cancer is a bit of a beast, as I was saying, or cancer is a beast. And I say a beast because no one really knows how it works. Medicine is not an exact science, and it's one of the reasons why we come up with new treatments all the time. I say we being humanity, come up with them all the time, as well as things not going according to plan. Like mine, for example. This is getting ridiculous, isn't it? This tower. Mine, for example, where it changed from one type to another, which is does happen, can happen, did happen. So yeah, it's a thing, you know. That is the problem with it, is that it is unpredictable. No one knows exactly how it's going to work or what it's going to do. Where's the cat gone? So yeah, that's how long, which the average life expectancy for someone with anaplastic thyroid cancer from diagnosis at stage 4, because it only ever gets found at stage 4 because of the way it works. Because of its aggressiveness, it typically gets found at stage 4. You have between 4 and 6 months from diagnosis. Now, that works a lot on the assumption that your cancer cannot be resectioned, so it can't be cut out. For me, in my neck, it was all cut out, and so it remains clear. Well, this is going to be inconvenient, isn't it? So my neck remains clear, but it is. That's because they removed a hell of a lot of stuff. This is obscene. This is utterly obscene. And the thing is that my wife let me buy this for the cat. Right, so I need 2 15s and a 17. They're 14s. That's a 15. I have no idea what that is. That's an 18, so it's not the right one. Right, well, 15s are the same height. So that'd probably be these two here. I'm going to have to put this on the floor, aren't I? And then an 18, which I think there should only be one of in the first place, which is 41 centimetres. That helps. Which means it's got to be the longest one that I've got left. Oh, it is. 80. I'm going to have to put this on the floor, aren't I? So yes, I'm hoping that answers your question about my anaplastic thyroid cancer, when it was found. What are you doing? What are you doing, mate? When it was found, and also kind of one of these problems with why it gets found at stage 4. Actually, to go into that a bit more, because I didn't really answer that, did I? It gets found at stage 4 because it spreads, and it spreads very easily, and typically by the time you get the visible symptoms, or ones that you can feel, it's too late. It's already spread, which is kind of what happened to me when I found it up here. Just bumped the mic twice, sorry. But yeah, that's why it's like that, and that's why I'm in that situation. I hope that answers your question though. That should actually answer your question. This thing's obscene. Like, I'm realising this is going to hit the ceiling. This is, I'm really hoping it doesn't get too big. Okay, that was from Shea Brower. hope that answered your question. Laurie79 says, "Are things worse again? Last stream your voice sounded worse than the one before." That was because I'd just started to get the sore throat from the lenvatinib. That's better now. I've kind of spoken about the side effects already. Moving on, what sort of pet peeves and frustrations stand out most to you in this journey? And conversely, what brings you the most gratification in this? I'll start with the positive, shall I? I like the being able to help people, and I'm hoping this is helping people and answering their questions, and it's actually has some form of benefit in some way, because I am not just doing this for my health and the vlogging. It does help mentally, definitely helps. It's like having a diary. You've got people who you can share your experiences with, and they can go, "Oh yeah, but yeah, I understand what you mean," or "Yeah, I've been through that, don't worry about it," or yeah, you get all of that kind of stuff, and that's really helpful to me. But then the stuff that gets on my nerves, pet peeves, from treatment, is that you sometimes have to deal with people, don't you? So, because you deal with people, and this is nurses, doctors, anaesthetists, surgeons, you name it, is that people are annoying, aren't they? And that isn't to say, like, I hate people, but in general, a rule of thumb is that people are annoying. They get on your nerves, and they cause you problems. Because if you had full control over absolutely everything, and I do mean literally everything, it'd be alright, wouldn't it? But you don't. So for me, it's kind of like a lack of control that bothers me a little bit. That leaves me in kind of an annoying situation, I guess. Right, has to be a short one. An annoying situation, I guess, because I like to be in control, because I spent so much of my adult life attempting to get control financially, professionally, physically, being in control of my body, martial arts again, that you find yourself out of control, and that is it. That being out of control is utterly awful, and that's cancer. It is literally your body out of control. So for me, that drives me insane. And the fact that you don't get exact answers, I kind of mentioned that already, is that you don't get a flat, straight answer of well, what's going on then? Or when's my next scan? Can you tell me on a graph how much cancer's left? Of course they can't tell you that. But it's the thing that I want to know, and I ask the questions of, because I'm desperate to know. God, this gets higher. I really might have overdone this. This isn't even as tall as it gets, is it? And also I've got a bit left over. Why have I got a bit left over? Let's just quickly check the other page. Ah, no we haven't. Holy crap. This is the next bit to go on top of it. Oh no! But yeah, control, I guess, is the answer to that. Is that I don't have the control that I would like, or that I grew accustomed to in everyday life, and cancer kind of took that away. So yeah, hoping that answers your question. And that was asked by Stephanie V. Moving on, what do I like to do for fun? Gaming. Lots of computer gaming. I used to be really into martial arts. That was my thing for the longest time. Martial arts and going to the gym. That was kind of what I was into. And then obviously cancer got in the way. I am wanting to get back into the gym. We've kind of managed to stabilise my blood pressure now, which means that I can start relaxing a bit more, because I've been very, very stressed out, which I think is fair. So yeah, that's what I like to do for fun. Gaming in particular, I play a game called Elite Dangerous. I have a YouTube channel that makes videos for that. I've done like my charity live streams, and that's how I've done my charity live streams, through that channel, to raise money for the British Thyroid Foundation, and that's how we've managed to do that, which is cool. But yeah, I've got kind of nearing 17,000 subscribers for that, but I haven't been able to do videos as much on that channel due to my throat and my voice. So if I had a chance to make a video, I've typically chosen to make it a vlog instead, because that way I can, I guess, I say it's good for me to get my thoughts out and thoughts down, as well as help other people, versus computer games, which is just computer games, isn't it? It's just, I'm trying to be super cool here and not get frustrated, but it's not happening. I'm trying to be zen about it all, which anyone who watches my gaming channel will understand why that's so important, being zen. But yeah, hoping that answers the questions of what I do for fun. Eating as well, I love going out, and I do like going to see a movie as well. Now, why isn't that going in there? Yeah, I feel like whoever made this probably didn't have to actually rebuild it. Like, yeah, we're just going to put this design together. Okay, cool, that's going to work for everyone, is it? Yeah, that's going to work fine. Okay, next question. Moving on. So, that was from Jimmy Baker. Julie says, how am I feeling overall? Would I describe myself as an optimist? No, I would not. I'm very much realist. Hope for the worst. No, hope for the best, plan for the worst. That's me. That's what I do. Then it says, did I have any therapy or CBT to cope with this journey? No. I was offered it, but I kind of worked it out for myself. I have always been a bit of a thinker, so I'd dwell on stuff, and I would, can you just wait? Could you not just wait? So yeah, I would be a bit of a thinker, so I'd normally think my way out of things, I guess is the best way of describing it. So it's like I've never had a situation before cancer that I couldn't think or fight my way out of. Because you should always use your brain before you're born, but you should be definitely prepared to use both. So yeah, I'm hoping that makes sense with that one. I almost did, but then I chose not to. It was an option. I was offered it. Don't get me wrong. 100% offered it, but in the end, I just chose not to do it, because it actually became harder to do it than it was. The therapist or the counsellor that I was supposed to go and see was like, well, I don't have a waiting area, so you can only arrive bang on time, and you can't wait after. You can't arrive early, you can only arrive at bang on the time. And it's like, well, that's bloody useful, isn't it? Like, what am I supposed to do? I rely on public transport. And then, yeah, they kind of said that you'd have to turn up at a certain time. You're in the way, mate. You were so in the way. Aren't you? Come here. Or just move over a bit. Both work fine. But do not go in there yet. No. No. Clive. What are you doing? What are you doing? Dickhead. So yeah, I always kind of, I overanalyze things, I overthink. I've always done that. And I never thought it'd come in handy. But don't get me wrong, every night before going to bed, I PTSD hard. And it is, bloody cat, it is PTSD, without a doubt, self-diagnosed, casually, from the moment I was diagnosed. And I know I'm not the only person with cancer who suffers with this. And you have certain moments through your cancer journey, that you will never. What are you doing? That's not helping. That you'll never. I mean, let's face it. No one's listening or watching me now, are they? They're watching Clive play. That you will never forget, and you can rarely move past. And mine is the sitting there when my oncologist said to me, "You idiot, you utter idiot," said to me, "Okay, we've had your biopsy back." I'm like, right. He's like, "Have you ever heard of anaplastic cancer?" Oh. And then I just remember that the exact moment he said that to me, and my world falling apart at that point. But that was one moment out of millions. You know, that's the way I see it. It was only one moment, and yeah, if I have to go through it before going to sleep every night, I'll go through it. It's fine. I'll get to sleep after, and then get woken up by Clive. Oh God, why did my wife let me buy this? Why? So, you've asked how my wife is coping in there as well, Julie. Now, my wife, she copes by doing the exact same thing that I do, which is we go very, very quiet. We typically either play a game, either separately, normally separately, because we like different stuff, and have something nice to eat, and then talk about it if we've got to. She talks to her family, and I hope that helps for her, but I'm good. At one point we will have her on as a guest to hopefully talk about everything, and she will tell us how she is doing. I have no idea how this is going to work, so hopefully that answers that question for you, Julie. You've also said in there that you're finding the same journey lonely. Talk to friends and family. It's okay. They want to hear from you. It's as simple as that. Your friends and family do. Because they want to know, even if you're having a good day, tell them you're having a good day. You don't have to always be a cancer patient. Sometimes you can just be someone's friend. And they need to remember that as well. Well, apparently my SD card filled up there. So that was fantastic. So the next question was from Alina B. Saying, do I prefer when my friends and acquaintances meet me to catch up? They ask about cancer or talk about neutral topics to get my mind off of it. You said you noticed that many people try to avoid the topic of disease, and even if they're the ones starting the conversation, many freeze up and don't know what to say. So by now you might have noticed I'm really blunt. Very, very blunt. Very blunt. And one of the reasons why I am blunt is because I can be, number one, this is obscene, isn't it? Is because being blunt means that there's no mincing of words, there's no euphemism, there is no platitudes, it is just truth. In fact, that's not going to work for me, is it? It's just truth and fact. So what you end up with is you just talk about it and then it's done. So for me, I typically deliver the facts in true Joe fashion, which my friends will probably agree with. So any friends that I have delivered these facts to, feel free to leave a comment and say, do you want to help? Clive. Yeah, feel free and leave a comment, let me know. But yeah, I'm blunt, so I say it, I get it done, and then it's out of the way. Is that better to do it? No, that's worse. Yeah, so that's typically what I do. I talk about it. People say, how you doing? I know what they're asking. Oh yeah, I'm doing great, thanks. You know, I had a really good meal yesterday. I did it. Oh, I feel rough, I'm tired, but that's to be expected because of this. Get it explained, done and out of the way, and then from there, it should hopefully mean things are easier to talk about, and then we can talk about other stuff. Got any holidays planned? What are you doing with this? Are you doing that? We can talk about their stuff, because I want to hear from my friends. I don't just want to monopolise a conversation, you know. But I like to get it done and out of the way. But it comes up. It's such a big part of my life. It's not who I am, it's what I've got. So I'm hoping this is this. No, it's not. It's actually correct, the size. So this is how we plug it against the ceiling. This is. But yeah, I'm hoping that answers your question. That should be. It's a pretty blunt one, I guess. Final question from DMCA this. And he called me Joe Platter. Come on, man. It's written there on the channel. It's Plater. Why do you do this? Tell us about your end of life plans. I don't have any. I'm going to worry about it later. I'm going to assume you're American because you've asked if I contact a hospice. Now, I intend to, when I do go at home. That's kind of a plan. You know, I spent so long wanting to be with my wife that I'm not going to waste a moment if I can avoid it. And that comes back down to the visa shit. So, you've asked if I've made a will. Yeah, I have. I did that through Macmillan. They were really good. They kind of offer a discount for cancer patients, and it's really simple. You've asked, you know, who's getting what. My wife gets everything and she can do what she likes with it. Just needs to look after the cat. That's literally it. That is the big thing. Like I've got property that I'm leaving behind to her, and everything in my will goes to her. That's it, done. I'm not going to go into it too much of like that or anything else like that. What she wants to do after I'm gone, if she's going to move back to America or not, I don't think she will, because try not to we're literally out of frame. I don't know if she will, because she has a life here, doesn't she? Spent years, I do mean years, working on living in this country. So why would you immediately leave after going through all of that effort to build life somewhere, you know? But that's her decision to make. I think we're going to have to do this a bit more sensible than this. Don't do it, Clive. But yeah, that's going to be an annoying sound. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a very personal question, obviously. So I've answered it in the way I've chosen to, because it's not just me. But yeah, any questions that are kind of like directed towards my wife, I will likely get her to answer them in a separate video and do that. And I was hoping it should be moving down, but I can't really tell. There might be a way for us to be smart about this. Is it? Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. So that will cover this, and then it'll prop up against there and you can screw it and make it longer. But I'm not doing the rest of that in this video because I feel like this has gone on far enough and it's going to be a bloody editing nightmare. So if you have made it this far, you're probably wondering what the word is. The word is, since we spoke about bucket lists earlier, once. Just once. That's all you're going to put, the word once. As usual, thank you for watching if you have been. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate the support in the comments and stuff. I really, really appreciate you guys leaving stuff. Quick disclaimer, don't leave me medical advice unless you're an actual oncologist, because otherwise you just got off another YouTube video somewhere, and I wouldn't listen to me. So when it comes to medical advice, that'd be madness. Listen to your doctor. So yeah, thank you once again for watching, and make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.